Hey guys, in this video, I want to show you a perfect example of the prime maintenance client that you should be going after. And I also want to be talking about kind of number one, why this is a good little example here, but number two, how you can add on specific things in your details that really make the customer ecstatic. And it's really going to just make them turn into a long-term customer as you deliver and over-deliver value for them. So as you guys are looking at this new Honda Pilot, this, yes, is one of my regular customers. You've probably seen this Honda Pilot on the channel at different points in time in different videos, and you can see the paint is in amazing condition on the exterior. Now, funny, I've been showing the exterior, but I'm actually starting with the interior. This is not a full maintenance detail. This is an exterior maintenance detail, and yes, while I do see this car on a regular basis, I don't necessarily see it within my particular maintenance detail timeframes. And full disclosure, my maintenance detail timeframes are, generally speaking, 4 weeks and 8-week windows. Outside of an 8-week window, generally speaking, I do not consider that to be a maintenance client. However, there are times where there are certain vehicles that even outside of the 8-week window, they don't get dirty enough for me to dispute whether or not they should be a maintenance client. So every now and again, you will have clients who fall outside of your specific maintenance window if you focus on building maintenance clientele like I have, because I think that's the best way to maximize profitability in the detailing business. And while they fall outside of your 8-week or 4-week or whatever week maintenance detailing window, they keep their car in really good condition, so you can continue to apply your same exact maintenance detail service system and get the same results as you would as if it was inside of the time frame. And that's why it's not a big deal that this person happens to fall outside of that. Which, by the way, guys, as I'm starting this video, I just want to let you know, if you're a beginner in the auto detailing business, or you just want to see how I started my detailing business with under $500, I'm going to hook up my free guide below this video. You can click that link and join the email list. Grab that free guide below. It'll let you know exactly how to get the right tools and products to start your detailing business for under $500. Now, like I said, I showed you guys the before of the exterior, and you saw how clean it was, but I am doing the interior because even though, yes, this is kind of a maintenance exterior detail here, there was some interior things that my client wanted to get done. So for example, this particular car hauls around 3 different kids that are all below the age of 6. And so it does get a little dirty on the inside, but I explained to her that I've got some little tools and products, a little sorcery that I can do to the car here to make the carpets waterproof. It looks like magic, but it's actually just great chemical engineering. And so not only am I going to quickly take care of the carpets here, but I'm also going to be waterproofing them. And the carpets are actually the only part of the interior that I am taking care of. And this is kind of what I wanted to get into here to explain that these small little add-ons. So for example, because the carpets were not very dirty and because I'm only addressing specific stains and I'm going to waterproof them as a whole, I'm not having to shampoo the whole thing. I'm just going to take care of a few specific things on the carpet very quickly. And because I have a lot of experience, because I've been doing this a long time, I know that I can get this done really, really quickly. And because of that, I want to do that for my customer because I know she wants it done and I know it's going to be extremely easy for me to do. This is one of those bullets that it's easier to just bite and say, hey, I'm going to do this for you. Now, in this particular scenario, because I was doing it for the first time, yes, I did charge my customer for this. Yes, this was an add-on that allowed me to become even more profitable in this particular detail because yes, she is paying extra for this service, but maintaining it from here is going to be extremely simple because of the extreme protections that I'm putting on the carpets. When I come back, it is going to take even less time to take care of. So just for your reference, guys, I'm using my own Wilson Auto Detailing drill brushes in this particular scenario, as well as my cordless DeWalt power drill. This is all going to be hooked up in the YouTube description box below. So if you guys want to see the products and the tools that I use in a video like this, then check out the Amazon links below. Yes, those are all affiliate links. And yes, I do get a small commission from those if you buy through those links. But I'm also using my cordless rigid vacuum cleaner, which I actually ended up giving away. And funny enough, I actually gave it away to this customer because she has 3 kids. And I actually, we used to live live in the same neighborhood as my client here. And so I actually let them keep the rigid 4-gallon cordless, or not 4-gallon, I think it's more like 8-gallon or 7-gallon. But I let them keep the vacuum in their garage for a while, and she kind of maintained the inside on her own, which made my job even easier. So not that you can do this with every single customer, but I actually did end up letting them keep the vacuum because it's kind of a win-win for me. It makes it easier for me to maintain it because she vacuums it out basically every time her kids get any dirt or anything on the floorboard. So when I come in, I look like a superhero because it always really stays clean. So again, using my own drill brushes there, which I'll hook up below, and I'm using Super Clean degreaser here, and you might be wondering why I'm using Super Clean, because you're like, Luke, hey, it's really not that dirty. And really the distinction here, reason I'm not using an all-purpose cleaner like Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner, is simply because when you're dealing with black carpet like this and the impossible carpeting, and because I haven't maintained this carpet on a regular basis, the carpet is actually a fair amount dirtier than it looks. Black is unbelievable at hiding dirt, which is a good thing and a bad thing. And in this situation, I just wanted to go ahead and reach for my more powerful cleaner. Then I'm using a toothbrush, a detailing toothbrush there to get in the cracks and crevices, using my interior microfiber towels that are really, really grabby and work fantastic on any upholstery or carpeting. And I'm going to be using my VX5000 steamer, but for those of you who are not looking to purchase a really expensive steamer like I have here, I will hook up the McCulloch steamer below, which is the second best in my opinion in the detailing world, and it is significantly cheaper. So for those of you looking for that, check that out in the YouTube description box below. Now I want to get back to a business concept that I brought up really kind of on a surface level, in that this particular customer does not fall within my regular maintenance client time frames. What's interesting about creating an auto detailing business that is pretty much 100% focused on maintenance clients, on regular recurring clients, is you end up actually more often than not sort of tailoring certain packages for specific customers. And it ends up really giving you an edge because it's kind of like Burger King, like have it your way. Your customer gets to have it their way. And you can kind of negotiate things with your customer at a much greater level than you would ever be able to negotiate a one-off customer who you're never going to see again because they're just trying to negotiate with you on price, whereas your maintenance clients have actually already agreed on your price, they already understand everything. What you're trying to do is negotiate with their specific needs as far as how often they want you to come, what they want you to do when you're there. And while yes, I absolutely have a maintenance client detail service list that I perform. I absolutely have maintenance detailed time frames that make up the majority of my maintenance clients. Once again, every now and again, you have clients who just don't fall in those windows. For example, I have a maintenance client who has 2 different Jaguars, and I probably detail both of them just a couple times a year, but they are considered maintenance details because he doesn't drive either of them on a regular basis, and even the one he does drive on a more regular basis, it stays so clean because he has a much cheaper detailer service it, and he services it on his own, so that when I come, I literally spend about an hour maximum on the interior and the exterior. So while that is not necessarily the most regular customer in the world, it still does fall within that maintenance detailing world. And while you don't always want to do that, for example, if you have a new customer and their car is really, really clean, that does not matter. You need to be charging them full price that you would, or your minimum full price for a full detail. But once again, because this customer is somebody who calls me several times a year, probably about 3 times a year, that is why I consider him a maintenance client, because he wants me to continue to be the high-end detail guy taking care of his Jaguars, and because of that, I put him on the maintenance plan. Now, all of that being said, I did say something I want to address here. While yes, this is an exterior maintenance detail, I did include the carpets here for an additional price because my customer wanted them to be waterproofed, which by the way, you can see in the video right this second. I'm using G-Technic's Smart Fabric to waterproof the carpets. This is my favorite carpet protectant right now, and I've been talking with a company who may or may not develop their own smart fabric-esque product that's kind of similar to this. It'll be named differently, of course, and maybe that one might even come out better than this. I don't know. But when I'm applying the G-Technic Smart Fabric, I want to get it all over the fabric, all over the upholstery, and then I'm going to take my microfiber towel with some Super Clean degreaser on it, and I'm going to make sure that I wipe it off of all of the hard plastic pieces that I get it on, because it will dry kind of sticky to those pieces. So you want to make sure you get the product off of those pieces. Now, My maintenance client here wanted me to go ahead and protect the carpets. Well, this is something that I will that is a very, very important and very smart thing to do with maintenance clients, taking extreme protective measures with their vehicles, especially when they're willing to pay for it and ask you to do it the first time around on their vehicle. This is an extremely, extremely important point. When I am maintaining a car, generally speaking, I will throw in this protective service without even telling my customer, because I know I'm going to be seeing the car on a weekly, monthly, or bi-monthly basis. If I protect it properly, I look like a superhero because the car stays in such fantastic condition. Even when it gets dirty, it's extremely easy to clean off. But it is the ultimate win when your maintenance client themselves says, hey, I know you're only doing the exterior. Can I pay you? What would you charge me to also just do my carpets here for this particular maintenance detail? And then you can maintain the carpets from there on out because I'm really concerned about the carpets. And this is actually a common theme that you will find with many customers. Many customers, particularly maintenance customers, let me be specific here, particularly maintenance customers. You will find that in many cases, they have a particular preference with a particular area of their vehicle. So generally speaking, maintenance customers are particular about their vehicles in the first place. That's kind of why they're having you maintain them. But a lot of times, and I've found, I say this in a lot of my videos, I found that this is actually can be very characteristic of, whether it's, the mom driving the car or the dad driving the car. A lot of times the dad is a lot more concerned with the outside. A lot of times the dad is more concerned about like the leather seats. That's been something I've noticed a lot. Whereas a lot of the time with the mom driving the car with the kids, she's more concerned about the carpets. She's more concerned about all the little areas that she can't necessarily see where she knows the kids are dropping food down in those cracks. And so each customer is going to have a particular preference, and a lot of times this can be used to work in your favor, not just because of the instantaneous revenue that you're going to create from that job. For example, this job cost my customer a little bit more and ended up making me more money simply because I was taking just a little bit of time to do the carpets. And for example, right here, I'm kind of extreme cleaning these carpets. The reason why I'm extreme cleaning them in this way is because I know I'm going to be maintaining them from this point on. So I want to go ahead and do what I call hitting the reset button with these carpets so that they're completely cleaned going forth from this time. The way I do that very simply is with my electric pressure washer, my Sunjoe pressure washer. Again, I'll hook up all these tools and products in the YouTube description box below. And I go ahead and pressure wash all the dirt off. I spray it with my Super Clean. I use my medium stiffness drill brush to stir up all of the dirt. And then I pressure wash everything out of the mats. And in doing this, it just allows me to get that mat ultra clean because I've completely rinsed it with a pressure washer. I know there's literally nothing left on the mat whatsoever. It's going to be as clean as it possibly could be. So the point I'm making here is that this customer is particularly interested in keeping the carpets clean, and because she has 3 kids, she knows how often they get dirty and how easy it is for them to get dirty. And so she wants to maintain it from the get-go because this is a newer car. And this is probably the newest car that she's ever owned, simply because it's the newest model of the year, right? So it's the newest car, and so she wants it to be maintained. And this is also a great time to kind of capture maintenance clients, is when they get their new car, because people are inevitably more attached to their cars in the beginning, right? You've never heard somebody get a new car and say, man, I can't wait to get this trashed. They're always saying the exact opposite. They're used to a trashed car. They're used to a below average clean car. And when they get in that new car and they feel the new car and they smell the new car and they ride in the new car, they're like, man, I want it to stay like this forever. So people are very willing to pay for that. In fact, with the online course that I am pretty much finished building now, and we're going to be releasing very soon, I actually am going through some of my long-time many years worth of maintenance clients, and I'm getting Zoom interviews with them, asking them questions like, hey, why have you kept me as your detailer for years? Why did you become a maintenance client? Why were you willing to pay my prices? I even raised my prices on you. Why were you okay with that? And one of the big things that one of my maintenance clients that I just got an interview in with yesterday said is she said, well, I had a new car and I wanted it to be maintained. And after you came and did a full detail on it and it looked better than new when you were done, I knew, shoot, I want you to keep coming back. Your work speaks for itself and I want the car to remain in good condition. And so it just goes to show you that none of this stuff is being made up. This is stuff that people actually want. It's stuff that people actually feel. People really, really, really get connected with their new car. Now I'm going to go ahead and move to the outside, but I do just want to reiterate one more time. You guys saw how quick it was for me to address the interior there. Yes, I am making more money doing that, but it was also very strategic in a sort of maintenance approach there. And it's also a very, very easy way to create more profitability on one-off details. So while I have been talking about maintenance clients thus far this whole time, I will say this. Creating small and simple add-ons that you can easily implement without spending a ton of time, but by adding a significant amount of value, that is a great way to increase profitability dramatically in the auto detailing world, particularly when you are dealing with one-off details, which in the beginning stages of your business, as you're building up your maintenance client list, as you're building that, because it does take time, you're going to be doing more one-off details than virtually at any other part of your business or at any other season of your business. And as you're doing a ton of those one-time, one-off details, it is a perfect opportunity to practice explaining and communicating with the customer what you're going to do and what add-ons you could potentially do and what value that would bring to the vehicle. Once again, it makes me think of my interview that I had with one of my longtime maintenance clients yesterday. One of the big things she was hitting on when I asked her the question, why did you have me come back and service your car for years on a regular basis, once a month, once every 4 weeks? And she said, you communicated to me in a way where I understood what you were doing. I understood the products you were using. You explained to me why you did certain things, and I saw the value of it when you explained it to me. And I think a lot of times, and I think this is especially true with newer detailers, they are hesitant to approach their customers or initiate the conversation with their customers about things like add-ons. For example, if you were to approach your customer and you charge $65 to restore their headlights and you see that their headlights really need restoration, but you say, well, my customer would have brought it up if they wanted me to do it. And oftentimes, I find that the opposite is actually true. People want you to do things. They will actually think about things they want you to do after you've already scheduled with them, and they feel like they might be inconveniencing you if they ask you to do other things other than what has already been scheduled and talked about thoroughly on the phone. That being said, this is why I think selling add-ons is a very, very, not only a great way to increase profitability, but also a great way to just address legitimate needs that your customer has. So for example, customers will oftentimes try to explain something to you that they want done, but because they don't live in the detailing world like you and I do, they have trouble putting words to things they're asking. For example, this particular customer, do you think that she said, hey, Luke, I'd like you to use G-Technic Smart Fabric on my car so you make sure you waterproof the carpets and make sure that you reset the carpets with this, and this method before you do that so that we can easily maintain it from there? No, she didn't. She just kept telling me how important it was for her to maintain the carpets in the good condition that they are in as they are new. Well, that's enough for me to understand what she wants. I know how to read between the lines and say, hey, listen, customer A, I can use this product and do this method really simply, reset your car carpets, make sure they're totally clean, and then it'll be really easy to maintain them from there because of the protective measures that I'm going to take. Does that sound good to you? Here's the price tag assigned to it. You don't need to be timid about bringing this up. You don't need to be timid about assigning price tags to certain things. A lot of times detailers do that as well. They will kind of dial back their price when they're in front of the customer because they feel like they might be charging too much or stepping on the customer's toes, and I promise you, 99% of the time, people do not wince at your prices when I'm talking about add-ons here. They're already paying you to do what you're doing. they're totally fine with you go ahead and doing some other things that aren't incredibly more expensive. You're not doubling the price necessarily, though you might be in certain situations. And certainly I made a much more significant amount of money doing the interior bits here that I did than I would have if I would not have addressed the interior, the carpets, and protected them in the way that I did. Now, I do want to give you guys a little tip here as you're watching me clay the windows. With any vehicle, even a maintenance vehicle that I see on a monthly basis, not necessarily a weekly basis, but a monthly basis, there are certain things I will go ahead and do even if they are not 100% necessary. And one of those things that I think is very important for you guys watching is I will go ahead and clay bar the exterior windows simply because here's the way I see it. Glass is so difficult as it is in any situation. It's difficult enough to get completely clean and streak free. So I want to use any measures I can in order to make the glass easier to deal with for me. I always, without a doubt, every single time, clay bar the windshield. I always clay bar the exterior windshield. Most of the time, I clay bar every other window as well. On a weekly to bi-weekly basis, I don't on those vehicles, but I always clay bar the windshield. I would encourage you guys, particularly in your maintenance servicing programs or maintenance servicing lists or products, what you're offering there, examine the things that if you do them, number one, they don't take a ton of time, and number two, they will always make your life easier. And if you don't do them and it doesn't work out the way you thought it would, it's going to piss you off and become frustrating. Glass is one of those areas for me. It might not be for you, but glass is one of those areas where I look at it and I say, I would rather just go ahead and make sure that I get this completely right the first time rather than having to roll the dice and have it potentially not work and me have to go and try to get the streaks off the glass. It's going to frustrate me. I've dealt with it enough in the last decade of detailing, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. So that's why I always include that. There are also things in the detailing world, particularly in my maintenance packages, which, by the way, this is the G-Technic Smart Fabric that I'm spraying on the floorboards here and going to let them dry on the sidewalk in the sun. There are also things that I say, hey, these are things that I never include in a maintenance detail, and if I have to include them, I will charge extra. One of those things is going to be the door jambs. Another one of those things is going to be a full carpet shampoo. These things do not need to be included in a maintenance detail. It defeats the purpose if you start undercutting yourself and you just start adding on and adding on and adding on things that you would have done in a full detail anyways, because you will end up taking the time that you need to take for a full detail and charging a maintenance detail price. This is actually something that a lot of detailers do and needs to be avoided. Now, guys, that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, smash the thumbs up button. And by the way, I want to reiterate, go down below and grab that free guide for anybody who wants to start their own auto detailing business. And you want to make sure that you get the right tools and products for your business so you don't waste money on a bunch of crap that fills up your garage but doesn't fill up your bank account or your business account with cash flow. Go grab that free guide below in the YouTube description box on the exact tools and products that you should buy to start your auto detailing business, all for under $500. Yes, that is a shameless plug because I spent a lot of time developing that list. Guys, if you want to see the tools and the products that I used in this particular detail on this particular maintenance client, go below and check out all of those tools and products. There will be an organized list of links that you can see very, very clearly. And of course, if you are new to the Wilson Auto Detailing YouTube channel, I post a video every other day, so anywhere from 3 to 4 times a week, and it's almost always about auto detailing business content. So if you're interested in that, smash the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so that you get notified when I publish future videos so you don't have to miss any of them, because I talk from the last decade of my auto detailing business experience, and I think it might be helpful for some of you who are beginning in the business or who are just running a business, but you need to learn how to do it more profitably, because let's be honest, we talk a lot on YouTube about how to detail muddy farm trucks. We do a lot of product reviews, but we don't talk about how to make real money today in the auto detailing business. So if that's what you want, hit the subscribe button, tap the bell icon. You'll get notified when a future video is published every other day. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, yeah.